Hello everyone, my name is Christopher, and in this video I'm going to rank every single character in the Season 7 of Overwatch 2 based on their solo carry potential. And we start our journey with tanks, and D.Va goes in an absolute S tier. Every single time I see the verticality map, which is Watchpoint Gibraltar, Numbani, Dorado, Paris, so second point of Hollywood, maybe second point of Eichenwald, pretty much everywhere where you have high grounds and high verticality, I understand that D.Va is a must-pick choice. Incredibly powerful against pretty much every single tank, because you either counter them directly or you can just avoid them and go for the whack-a-mole game where you destroy the backline of your opponent. When it comes to Ramatra, I have very mixed feelings about this character, because in the current state of the game there are so many characters that can destroy you, such as Bastion, such as Orisa, Junker Queen, and many more. And if I would say that Ramatra was one of the best tanks in the Season 5 of Overwatch 2 to solo carry your games, as of right now, there are one too many counters that will make your life miserable. Even if you block your damage, Bastion can absolutely blast through your form. Even if you try to do something, Orisa can punch you out of your block with a spear. And then there are, again, so many things that can make your life worse than it should be. Doomfist is a character that goes at the top of the B tier. I feel like he is incredibly powerful, and sometimes you can carry games on him. Unfortunately, he is quite difficult to use, and the more you play, more you will realize that people will not only swap characters that are great against you, they will play around you, and it's gonna be quite difficult to land your punches. Like, the higher you climb, the more people familiar with Doomfist abilities and know how to use movement to the full potential. And yeah, very easy to counter, very difficult to have insane value for how difficult your character is. Orisa, on the other hand, is one of the best tanks in the Season 7 to solo carry your games. Of course, you need to be exceptionally good in the short range when it comes to tracking. You need to be exceptional with your cooldown cycle, and you need a reliable main healer, but such as every single tank needs, right? When it comes to Orisa, you have not too many counters that make your life miserable, and you're just an unkillable brick that's standing there. You have a nice 1v1 against Reinhardt, you have a nice 1v1 against Roadhog, against Ramatra. You don't care about Junker Queen, you really don't care about Winston, you don't care about Ball, and overall, Orisa is a go-to when it comes to the tank. Although I would place her at the A tier because of Zarya. Reinhardt is a C tier character, one of the worst in the category, because you have to understand that one Bastion swap and your life becomes miserable, one Orisa swap and it's pretty much the same. Ramatra can counter you. It's really difficult to play against. Even Roadhog can cause you problems, and then on maps with verticality, D.Va is gonna constantly kill your backline and you cannot peel for it effectively, and on sniper maps Sigma is gonna be dominant, so very bad in that regard. Unfortunately, Echo is in the tank category for some reason. Junker Queen is an A tier character for the solo carry potential, although I feel like Orisa is a little bit stronger in that regard. One of the best things about Junker Queen is the fact that you absolutely don't care about meta DPS characters and meta supports, because when you're playing against Bastion, it's really easy to kill him, it's really easy to kite his turret form, it's really easy to you absolutely don't care about Sombra, you absolutely don't care about Genji, you don't care about pretty much anyone. Even stuff like Echo is not bothering you too much. But if you would play Diva into Echo, you quickly realize that you are in a big trouble. You have very good or neutral 1v1s against enemy tanks, and you have the potential to infiltrate the backline. And if you are smart in your cooldown cycling and you hit your knives, Junker Queen is an exceptionally strong character. Winston is a C tier character, even worse than Reinhardt. Same reason. Everyone is just gonna swap Bastion. Perhaps they would go Reaper, maybe they go Diva to counter you, and I would say that there are situations where Winston is a decent character. For example, they are playing composition like Junker Queen, Genji, Sombra, Ana, Kiriko, and then against that composition, Winston is gonna be quite good because no one can break bubble and no one can reliably kill you because you can always dance in and out of bubble and be effective in that regard. When it comes to Zarya, I would say that Zarya is the bottom of S tier in terms of your carry potential. The only problem I see with Zarya is only when they go Winston or they would go Reinhardt, right? But both of these characters are getting completely decimated by Bastion. So if you have Zarya plus Bastion, it's so over for the enemy team. You actually don't have weak spots in that team composition. Every single time you let your Bastion go forward, he uses the turret form and soften up the squishes so your second DPS can capitalize on that while he is giving you the charge that you need. Roadhog is a terrible character. There is just nothing you can do to save the day on the character, and we are still waiting for the rework later on in season 7. In the director's take, they said that rework is gonna be a little later than the mid-season, and the mid-season starts on the 10th of November, I believe, so it's like in 2 weeks or something. So we are still waiting for something new about the Roadhog, but you just don't expect anything like super duper, because just like with Sombra is a B tier character even after the rework. And last, no, not last, we have 2 tanks left. Sigma is an absolute S tier in the current state of the game because he's incredibly powerful. He does not care about Bastion. Boom, that's it. That's literally puts him in an S tier. He doesn't care about Bastion, he doesn't care about Widow, he doesn't care about Ana, he doesn't care about Kiriko, because all of these characters make your life miserable as a tank. But guess what? When you are on Sigma, they don't. You need to be a little bit specific with your meta composition choices. You need Baptiste with you, so you can unleash your full potential. And then your DPS have to be brawl / poke DPS. Like, you can't play Sigma Tracer, you can't play Sigma Sombra, because it's just never gonna work. There is no idea behind it. You will never be able to support them, they will never be able to enable you, and this is a vicious cycle of torture. Wrecking Ball is I don't know, he's a D tier character. There is nothing you can do on him. Well, you can be annoying for a few fights and then they swap Zen, they swap Brig, they swap Sombra, they swap Bastion, they swap this, that, and your life just becomes very miserable. It's really difficult to have mediocre value on him because Wrecking Ball is one of the highest skill floor, skill ceiling characters. It means that it's really hard to pick him up and it's way harder to become good at him. So yeah. Moving on to the DPS role, and Ashe takes the #1 spot in the top of the A category. Very strong, especially if you can pair her up with Mercy Pocket. Incredibly powerful on majority of the maps because geometry of Overwatch map design is like very long maps where you can unleash your long range different potential. So for example, you are incredibly powerful against stuff like Reaper, you are incredibly powerful against Symmetra, Junkrat, Acidy, you are even powerful against Illari because you deal more damage than them on distance. Very nice ultimate, very nice ability to carry games, top of the A tier. Sombra is the bottom of B tier for today's list, even I don't know. So if you go for my personal experience, my win rate on Bastion is about 70% in low Grandmaster lobbies. And I have 33 on Sombra. I am the same person, I have the same extraordinary aim like I would on Bastion. I have the same mechanical skill and understanding of the character. Unfortunately, this abomination is just terrible. Very easy to catch, very easy to kill, and if you are not diffing a backline, the backline is diffing you. There's just, if you don't kill someone, you're just literally full engaged. You have to fall back and it's all very inefficient, and currently this is the support meta. Season 7 is heavily support favored, so every single one of them either have a jail-free card that they can completely dodge you, or they can kill you. Nothing in between. Cassidy is an F-tier character, one of the worst DPS of the current Season 7 patch. Really bad range, really bad nade, really bad ultimate. There is nothing good about this character. And even when they buffed his roll and now he is mitigating 75% of damage instead of 50, like, no one asked for it. And yeah, he's just nothing to say, he's just terrible. Genji is a C-tier character when it comes to solo carry potential. He is very reliant on your meta composition, he is very reliant on the enemy team comp, and even if you are playing against like 3-4 hitscan characters, imagine you are playing against Soldier, Bastion, Illari, Baptiste. First of all, there is nothing to kill. Second of all, outside of your deflect that can be easily baited out, you are completely useless. Every single time you want to go in, 4 guns are gonna get pointed at you, and if they are good enough, you're just gonna die. Your Nanoblade can get easily countered by Zarya Bubble, can get easily countered by enemies just running away, scattering like cockroaches. It can get Suzu'd, lamped. It is just completely pathetic. And you can Nanoblade like twice around, maybe maximum, even if you cap 3 points or something. It is just completely terrible. I feel like Hanzo is in the same boat. Very luck reliant character with no ability to, like, I'm never sure when I see Hanzo on my team, because very easy to counter with Pharah Mercy, Echo Mercy, very easy to kill with Illari, very easy to out damage by a DPS paired up with a Mercy Pocket. Like, what are you gonna do against Soldier that's Mercy Pocketed? He's gonna have crazy movement. You will never be able to snipe Mercy out of the air because she has crazy movement, and you have unpredictable projectile. And then you don't do anything to any tank in the game. Roadhog, no. Junker Queen, no. Sigma, no. Like shields, no. Bubbles, no. You just, like, nothing you can do. You don't possess a threat to an enemy tank, and he's just gonna take space and destroy your team while you are observing and meditating somewhere on the side of the road, waiting to lose the game. Junkrat is, I don't know, Junkrat is a D-tier character. Like, on some maps he might work, but in reality he's just straight up terrible, and there is nothing you can do to save the day. A horrible character. Again, projectile characters are very hard to balance because they can be overpowered, just like Torbjorn when they overbuffed his like shoot speed, and he was shooting like a machine gun, like pew 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 pew, with insane amounts of damage and no risk of dying, plus you had a turret, and now he is complete garbage. When it comes to Mei, I feel like Mei is stronger than Sombra in terms of the solo carry potential, because again, we are not living in a vacuum, and you have the team to back you up, and your team can go for the brawl team composition with Reinhardt, with Lucio, and you can just speed in, wall someone and destroy him. Or you can just go in by yourself, even though you don't have the correct team comp to play with you. I feel like you can still land a few nice right clicks, maybe headshot someone, and Mei is really, really nice to play. You're gonna be like an off tank that's very like very survivable and very hard to kill if you are playing her properly. Pharah is a C-tier character. with the rise of Illari, and then you have Baptiste, and then you have Ana. There is just nothing you can do on that character. You need Mercy to play with you, and you have to compensate for the heal that you took away from your tank. So your tank and your second DPS have to struggle, and your second support will get so much more pressure on his shoulders because he needs to heal everyone, and there is no backup from the second support because second support is obligated to play with you on the Pharah. Very easy to snipe you out in the air. If you are playing Illari Ana, Ana hits one shot, Illari hits 2 shots, and you are dead, even if you are mercy pocketed. It's crazy. Your ultimate is pretty bad and can get countered easily, and character is very difficult for the value that you can get on her. Like, you play Pharah Mercy against no hit scans, and 1 second later they swap double hit scan to completely counter you. I feel like Echo is a little bit better than Pharah, and I would say that Echo is better than Mei and Sombra when it comes to solo carry potential, because you have multiple playstyles with her. You can go for a flanking assassin playstyle, you can go for the poke playstyle, you can go for the dive playstyle. With Pharah, it's like not as flexible as you want it to be. Echo ultimate is way more, or like way better than Pharah ultimate, and overall she is just a very nice character to deadlift the games that you would have lost without it. Sojourn is super difficult, but still really nice, and if you can land right clicks, if you can go for like a correct team comp to play against her, she can be really nice. She is good against Hog, she is good against Arisa, she is good against Sombra, she is good against Reinhardt, because you can reliably charge your right click and go for the squishes. If you are mercy pocketed, it can be quite easy to snipe enemies out of the air, snipe enemies on the ground, and wow, that can be pretty nice. Sojourn can be exceptionally good. Reaper is an F tier character. Nothing you can do in that regard. He's just straight up terrible. You don't have range, you don't have good ultimate, you don't have... like, your overall kit feels incredibly risky and not as powerful. And there are better options. Like, yeah, you are a great counter to Winston, but Winston can avoid you. Can you avoid Bastion? Well, not exactly. And Bastion can do everything Reaper does, but way better, with more efficiency. And again, we are in a long-range dive, or excuse me, long-range brawl/poke combination of meta, where everyone is standing on a long range and trying to pew each other. Reaper is gonna come close and gonna get decimated if you try to do something. Bastion is an S tier character. There's gonna be a first S tier character to solo carry your games. As I've said earlier, I have about 70% win rate on him for the past like 40 games, and this character is insane. You have really good abilities, your turret form is hands down makes you the best character in the game in terms of your value, although there are characters that can make your life miserable, such as Sigma and D.Va. This is why they are at the top. But if they're playing stuff like Reinhardt, if they're playing stuff like Winston, they will just never see the light of the day, especially if you are mercy pocketed. The amount of damage per second you can deal with your turret form is crazy, and this is why they are nerfing Passion in the mid-season 7. Soldier is gonna be another A tier character. I would say that Soldier is a bit stronger than Ashe in terms of the solo carry potential, because you have the ability to flank, you have the ability to self-sustain, and relying on your teammates is a very faulty strategy. You will quickly realize that you cannot just trust your teammates. They don't care about you, they don't care about winning, they just queue because they are sad in their real life. And you are there to win the game, and you have to play 1 versus 9 if you want to win games. That's the sad reality of the situation. Soldier, especially mercy pocketed, is one of the most satisfying characters in the game. Symmetra is a D tier character. Very situational, again lacks range, and even if you can land your right clicks, it's gonna get out healed so easily. Like, burst healing in this game is so freaking insane that you land 1 right click, Ana can just shoot one bullet, and the dude is gonna be 90% HP after that. So effectively, you will never be able to kill anyone outside of your second DPS confirming the kill, but for a majority of the situation, it's not as good. Yeah, you have a great ultimate wall, but it can get kited, people just run away behind the cover or never fight on a spot. It can get EMP'd by Sombra, and it's just a complete disaster, you know? Just a complete disaster. Torbjorn is a C tier character as well. Very clunky against Sigma, very clunky against Hanzo, very clunky against Bastion, very bad versus Echo, very bad versus Soldier, and bad versus Sojourn and Ashe. There is nothing you can do. After they nerfed his attack speed and took away the power from his turret, he went from being an A tier character to the C tier. Although I would happily see Torbjorn. I would like to see Torbjorn a lot more than I would want to see Genji, Hanzo or Pharah or anyone below. Tracer is gonna be a C tier character. Very difficult to use, very low damage, very low value, can get easily killed by supports. You can't reliably kill backline because supports are extremely overpowered. You don't possess any threat to a tank. You're just an annoying fly that's trying to distract while your team is cooking up, and it has nothing to do with solo carry potential. Widowmaker is an A tier character, a lot better than Ashe because not only it counters her, but you have more efficient maps to play. You don't risk anything when you're playing Widowmaker, you can land headshots and be extremely annoying, and even if you just hit body shots, it's still super duper nice. Ana goes in an absolute S tier for the current support state. She is incredibly powerful, her anti and sleep are both great abilities to deadlift games, and you have the potential to save idiots on your team. You see a dude that's out of position across the map, you can reliably heal him because you don't have any damage drop off on your healing dart. You don't have any damage drop off on your damage dart, which are the same dart but different effect when it comes to the subject or the object, yeah, that you apply it to. It doesn't matter. Her nano is a great synergy with pretty much every single support, DPS or tank in the game, and overall Ana is just amazing. Very high skill ceiling though. Moira is the top of the B tier for today's list in terms of the solo carry potential. Nice damage, nice healing, nice coalescence, very clunky when it comes to killing her because, wait, she's the opposite of clunky. It's really difficult to kill Moira. You have to call out that she does not have I forgot what her like ability is. Wraith? No? Fade. Yeah. You have to call out the Moira Fade, Moira no Fade or something, but in reality no one does that, so you never know when she has it or doesn't. It's all very, very bad. When it comes to Brig, I would place her at the top of the A tier against Dive and at the bottom of B tier against Brawl and Poke. She's incredibly powerful against Monkey, incredibly powerful against Wrecking Ball, Doom, and there is just nothing they can do against you. You just press W onto them, you can whip shot them, you can like instantly save your teammates from the dive threats, but when it comes to playing against Reinhardt, Ramadra, Queen, Orisa, Zarya, Sigma, you kinda struggle. There is nothing you can do to save yourself, and you're just standing there throwing out health packs. So I would suggest you playing Illari or Bab, and if you have a main healer, just swap Brig if you feel like you are getting dove and there is nothing you can do. Baptiste is gonna be another S tier character for today's day and age. Very difficult to kill, ability to cycle between damage and healing, immortality, a great window for egoistic plays. You can flank behind, place a window and destroy a few players reliably. And overall you have great synergy with brawl tanks that are currently meta. Orisa, Junker Queen, Sigma, Zarya, Reinhardt, all of them love playing with you because you can soften up squishes, you can go for healing, and you are truly great. Mercy is a C-tier character when it comes to solo carry potential, although I feel like Mercy is A-tier character when it comes to ranked play, because the team with a Mercy pocket usually wins, because if you are trying to mirror Soldier and they have Brig and you have Mercy, there is nothing they can do to save themselves. There is just nothing they can do to save themselves, because if I'm playing a Soldier with a Mercy pocket, I am killing the Soldier that's not Mercy pocketed 9 times out of 10. Lucio is great. I would place him right here. I feel like Lucio is a little bit better than Moira when it comes to solo carry potential, although quite difficult. He is quite difficult, and you need the correct comp to play with. You can place Lucio with Doom, but my personal favorite is the Lucio Junker Queen composition, where you go Lucio, Queen, you go Kiriko, and then something like Bastion and maybe Tracer, maybe Sombra to really press W with you, and you can be very, very annoying. When it comes to Kiriko, I would say that Kiriko is the top of the A tier. Immortality, slim model, ability to climb walls, 115 damage on your headshot, and all of that with insane ultimate and nice synergies. You can use your TP to save your teammates, you can use your TP to get in the fights way quicker than the enemies would, and overall she's just great. There is nothing you can do against that. Lifeweaver is at the top of the B tier as well. It's very controversial, but Lifeweaver is kinda countering the utility of other supports. Like, you have characters that really make your life miserable, but then Lifeweaver pool, paddle platform, tree, and overall insane amounts of healing can kinda make up for all the lack of offensive options he has. He's not possessing any threat, but he denies threats of other enemies, and this is his power. Hilary goes in an absolute S tier, hands down the best support to carry games on your own. If you have a main healer, you just go for a flank, leave a pylon for yourself, and 2, 3, 4 tap everyone you see in the range. And the lower you climb, the easier it is gonna be to carry games on your own. You're like a third DPS, and your team can reliably go main DPS, and then something like Sombra, Mei, like low damage but more of a supportive style DPS, and you can kinda help your team with damage. Last character is gonna be Zenyatta, and I would place him at the B tier. Very easy to kill, but Discord Orb is hell of a thing when it comes to killing opponents. So this is gonna be it for today's tier list of the solo carry. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about that. See you in the next one. Take care.